the next thing that I want to talk about is about an example of how to do clustering analysis. And this example, we use the Procter and Gamble example, which they have the information about, the average percentage of the Black, the average percentage of the Hispanics, the Asians, the age, and the unemployment rate, and the income of the people in each city in the U.S. The example consider 49 cities, which you can take a look in this Excel sheet. Actually, at first I did it, so I just have the number already plugged it in, but let me just delete this out. Just a minute, because I just did it earlier and then found out that my clip doesn't work. All right, so this is the information that you have. So from cell A9 up until age 49. So this is the information that you have. Basically, the information, the data that you have is like the city number, the city name, the average percentage of the Black, the Hispanic, the Asian, the age, the unemployment rate, and the income of each city. So there are 49 cities here. And the first thing that we want to do is that we want to calculate the mean of the, of each column. So for example, we want to find the mean of the percentage of the Black of the overall country. So this is going to be, in terms of, when calculating the mean, you use the average function. So you type equal average, and then you select the cell that you want to find the average for. Here you want to find the average of this cell, so you just select it and hold down the click and then drag it down, and then you put on the parenthesis to close it. First thing first, in Excel, capitalize the case of the letter doesn't matter. You can type average like that, or you can type average like this. It's still the same. So this is basically going to find the average of the percentage of the Black in column C. You also want to find the standard deviation of the value in this column. So the standard deviation is TDEV. So you type equal as TDEV, and then you select the range that you want to find the standard deviation for. So you select it, close the parenthesis, and enter. So now you have the average and the standard deviation of the percentage of the Black. You select these two cells, put your mouse at the bottom right corner, drag it, hold down the mouse and drag it to the right. So this is gonna find the average and the standard deviation of all the columns from your data. So for example, in cell G1, this is gonna find the average of the unemployment rate for other cities. In cell H2, this is the standard deviation of all the income in column H. So now once you have the average and the standard deviation, you want to calculate the z-score of this data. If you take a look at the textbook, hang on. So market segmentation is page 375. I think I have to go a little bit further. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me just move it down. Okay, this is chapter 22. Okay, so this is market segmentation, clustering analysis. So here, you want to standardize the information that you have, and the standardize is actually calculated as the z-score. So z-score is basically your data minus your average divided by the standard deviation, and this is how you calculate the z-score. So in order to do the z-score, you have two options. the first thing is that you put equal and then you select the data minus the average of the percentage of the black, and then I have to put it in parentheses because everything in here will be divided by the standard deviation here, which is C2. Sorry. So now you want to fix row number 1 and row number 2 because the remaining rows here have no information. And you enter, this is how you calculate the z-score of the first data point. If you put your mouse, select cell I10, put your mouse at the bottom right corner, hold down the mouse and drag to the right, then you can find the z-score of all the information or the data that you have, and then you again put your mouse at the bottom right, hold down the mouse, and then drag it down. By doing this, you can calculate the z-score of all the data that you have. Another option is like you don't have to do this. You can use the built-in function in Microsoft Excel. So let me just delete this first. So if I delete it, rather than doing the direct calculation, you can use the function, and the function goes like standardize. And then you select the data that you want to standardize, which is going to be this one. And also the mean. The mean of this percentage of the black is in cell C1. And again, you also want to fix row number 1. And you select the standard deviation. There's a hint here. For the standard deviation is cell C2. And you also want to fix row 2. Close down the parentheses and enter. So by doing this, you can find, the z-score using the standardized function in Excel. Again, you drag it to the right, and if you just do like that, and you can just double click it, select the entire row, put your mouse at the right corner, double click it. By doing this, you can find the standardized or z-score of all the data that you have. So for example, in cell K14, if you type standardized E14 and the mean and the standard deviation, you can find the standardized of the E14 is this one there, of the percentage of the Asian in terms of the standardized. Okay, so by doing this, this is how you calculate the standardized of your raw data. Okay, so let's pause it.